Yo, what is up, my friends? Welcome back into the podcast. Yet another episode of Crushing Fantasy Football. I am Bryce Lockridge, your host of the show. Guys, today I'm going to be giving you my running back rankings for Week 9 through the rest of the season. That's right, I want to be very clear that these are not Week 9 specific. These are rankings for Week 9 through the rest of the entire year. And I feel like it's important to do this video about every 3 or 4 weeks because the running back landscape just changes so much from week to week. And every month it changes tremendously. So it'll look way different a month from now than it does today. So I do this video to help you reassess running back value for both the trade market and for setting your lineup from week to week. And I'm going to get right into it, guys. But if you haven't already, make sure to hit that subscribe button below. If you do enjoy my content today, make sure to give me a thumbs up, as likes help my channel tremendously. All right, guys, I'm going to dive right into my number one, and that is Dalvin Cook. Guys, Dalvin Cook is a volume hog running back. The Vikings insist on getting him 25 to 30 touches per game. And look, he's already passed his bye week. He's back from his injury. He has a relatively easy strength of schedule going forward. All the boxes are checked for Dalvin Cook to go off in the second half, so he is my number one. My number two is going to be Jonathan Taylor, guys. Not much to say here. This dude has 5.9 yards per carry this year. He doesn't really get 20-plus carries in a whole lot of games, but this dude doesn't need it. This dude's extremely efficient. He's a candidate every week to bust out that huge play that wins you a week single-handedly. And Jonathan Taylor is going to be an absolute beast going forward. I'm very excited to see what this dude is going to do in his NFL career. And he's my number two for the rest of the season. Number three is going to be Najee Harris. Guys, here's what comes to mind when I talk about Najee Harris. Volume. This dude's had 23 plus carries in the past 3 weeks. He has games where he has 8 to 10 targets out of the backfield. This dude is touching the ball so freaking much that just volume and volume alone makes him an elite fantasy option. He is my number 3 going forward. My number 4 is going to be Austin Ekeler, guys. Best dual threat running back in football. This dude is basically a wide receiver and a running back at the same time. He gets heavy targets out of the backfield. This dude runs the ball a lot. He runs the ball efficiently. And look, going into the year, people were concerned that Roundtree and other backups were going to come in and steal his goal line work and all this. Not the case, guys. Austin Ekeler is getting tons of red zone usage, tons of goal line work. He's scoring a lot of touchdowns. He's getting lots of high-value touches in what's a very good offense. So start him going forward with a whole lot of confidence. Number 5 is Christian McCaffrey. Guys, obviously I want to have Christian McCaffrey at my number 1 spot. He's the best offense. He's the best weapon in all of fantasy football when he's actually healthy and on the field. Problem is he's been really banged up over the past year and a half. And when he does come back, I don't really think they're going to give him his full workload because they don't really want to rush him into things and get him re-injured again because then, he's entering the realm of having, potential career-ending level of injuries because, he had the major injury that he was out all season last year. He's been out half the season this year. If he gets banged up again, he's in some serious injury trouble, and the outlook going forward for Christian McCaffrey from a career-long standpoint is not going to be very good because he's going to be so banged up. So odds are they're going to ease him back into things, and so he's not going to really get full Christian McCaffrey level volume. Now, he will eventually, but definitely not right off the bat. So until he goes back to being 100% healthy and getting 100% of his workload, I have him at my number 5, but I can't wait to put him back in my number 1 spot. My number 6 is going to be Ezekiel Elliott. Ezekiel Elliott's running behind a great offensive line. He's one of the most talented running backs in the league. Has massive touchdown upside because he plays for the Cowboys, who have a great offense, as we know. So this dude is going to score a lot of touchdowns here going forward, and he is my number 6. My number 7 is going to be Alvin Kamara. Guys, Alvin Kamara, 20-plus carries in a lot of games this year. This is exclusive to 2021. This dude is seeing more rushing volume than he ever has in his career, probably because Drew Brees isn't the quarterback anymore. And now that Taysom Hill is the quarterback, I think that Alvin Kamara is going to see healthy volume as far as running the ball and catching passes out of the backfield. So he's going to be an absolute fantasy weapon going forward. My number 8 is going to be Nick Chubb, guys. Nick Chubb is maybe the most talented running back in the league. My personal opinion, this dude is the most talented running back in football. He's running behind a great offensive line. Kareem Hunt's going to be out for a while. No more Odell Beckham Jr. So this offense is going to run through Nick Chubb more than it ever has. So start him going forward with confidence. He's going to be a beast. My number 9 is Aaron Jones. Aaron Jones is an end zone magnet, guys. This dude scores tons of touchdowns because he gets lots of red zone usage in what's a very efficient Packers offense. He's technically a touchdown-dependent running back because he doesn't rush for more than 100 yards very often. But the fact of the matter is, he's a dual-threat running back. He runs the ball extremely efficiently. He catches lots of passes out of the backfield, and he's a threat every week to get in the end zone, if not get in the end zone multiple times. So you're starting him going forward with a whole lot of confidence. My number 10 is going to be DeAndre Swift. Guys, DeAndre Swift is challenging Austin Ekeler for being like the dual-threat running back in the NFL. This dude's the focal point of the Lions offense. He's getting 7+ targets out of the backfield in most games. I mean, this dude gets serious receiving work. He still sees 13 or 14 carries a game to go along with that. He's a 20+ touch per game kind of guy. And due to his volume and red zone usage, he's an elite fantasy option. My number 11 is going to be Darrell Henderson. Guys, Darrell Henderson is a product of a very good Rams offense. He doesn't need to be a 100-yard rusher to be successful in fantasy because this dude gets in the end zone like crazy. So start him going forward with confidence, guys. Joe Mixon at my 12. There's definitely some concerns with Joe Mixon because he's been so banged up over the past year and a half, and there are questions is he really playing at 100% and all these things. But the fact of the matter is, as long as he is getting put on the field and getting a decent workload, I am starting him because of the talent and the upside of being in a great Bengals offense. So he is my number 12. My number 13 is going to be Leonard Fournette. Okay, guys, Leonard Fournette is game script dependent because when Tampa Bay is playing in closer games and when they're playing from behind, playing tougher opponents, all these things like the Cowboys, his rushing volume was down, but we've seen his rushing volume come up quite a bit in the last 5 weeks. But in this past game, when they were playing the Saints and they were playing from behind, he only had 8 carries. So I have reason to believe that when the Bucs have a lead, they're going to lean heavily on Leonard Fournette. But when they're playing from behind, his volume is going to be down. With that being the case, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are a very good team, and they're going to be playing with the lead pretty often. So Leonard Fournette's volume is going to be there in most games, and he's been very efficient with the touches that he's getting. Massive touchdown upside from being in the Bucs offense, so start him going forward with confidence. Number 14 is going to be James Robinson. James Robinson is the best offensive weapon on the Jacksonville Jaguars. Jaguars have realized that they need to use James Robinson a whole lot if they want to move the ball successfully. Look for his volume to continue to increase throughout the year once he comes back from his injury. I don't know if he's going to be playing this week, but he's definitely going to be back at least by week 10 as far as what we know. And he is going to be a volume hog running back, and he runs very efficiently. Not in the best offense in the Jacksonville Jaguars, but the dude still managing to find his way into the end zone. So you can start him with confidence going forward. Okay, number 15 is going to be Eli Mitchell, guys. Eli Mitchell is definitely the running back one on the 49ers. He really doesn't have any competition for touches. They are using him as the workhorse running back. He's seen 18+ carries in the past 2 games. He doesn't get targeted a whole lot out of the backfield, but he's rushing the ball a lot, and he's rushing the ball efficiently. So he's a great play going forward, and he is my number 15. Number 16 is going to be Damian Harris. Damian Harris has been really good the past 3 weeks. I personally think he's taken advantage of just some really good matchups. I'm not as high on Damian Harris as a lot of people are, but the fact of the matter is the Patriots are really starting to find their stride as an offense. So his touchdown upside is there, and he's getting plenty of volume. So he is my number 16. My number 17 is going to be Saquon. Guys, I just don't trust Saquon to be healthy. Otherwise, I'd have him way higher in my rankings. When he comes back, is he really going to get his full volume? There's a lot of questions in the air about Saquon Barkley, but he's too good to have on your bench when he does come back and when he is in lineups. So he might just be a low-end running back 2 flex option at this point, but he's definitely not going to be on your bench when he does play. Number 17 is Saquon Barkley. Number 18 going to be Josh Jacobs. Josh Jacobs, he had a slow start to the year. He had some injury issues going on early. But the fact of the matter is the Raiders have a very good offense. I mean, this team can move the ball successfully. I think a lot more successfully than a lot of people thought they were going to do going into the season. So this offense is exceeding expectations, which means that Josh Jacobs' touchdown upside is higher than we thought it was going into the year. On top of that, they do like to lean on Josh Jacobs when they have the chance. If they have their choice, they give this guy his volume, and volume plus being on a good offense equals a top 25 for Josh Jacobs. Okay, number 19 is going to be A.J. Dillon. Guys, this is way higher than A.J. Dillon is going to be on a lot of people's lists, but to me, it's completely insane to have A.J. Dillon out of your top 25. This dude is a sleeping giant as far as fantasy football is concerned. He is splitting carries with Aaron Jones now pretty much. I mean, he out-carried Aaron Jones this past week. Obviously, he doesn't get the goal line usage that Aaron Jones does. He doesn't get the passing out of the backfield that Aaron Jones does. But the fact that he's in the Packers offense and he is a very talented running back who's very hard to tackle. This dude can break tackles like the best of them. This dude is a must-play every single week. He's really just a flex option for now, but he could be a running back too going forward potentially. So he is in my top 25. My number 20 is Cordero Patterson, guys. Cordero Patterson has been awesome this year. He's getting in the end zone most weeks. He's not really a guy that's going to get 20-plus carries ever, I don't think, but he sees a ton of receiving work. He's one of the best dual-threat running backs in football now. I mean, maybe not the best from a talent standpoint, but from a volume standpoint for sure. So due to that volume in the passing game, he cracks my top 25. My number 21 is going to be Clyde Edwards-Helaire. Guys, Clyde Edwards-Helaire is on the Chiefs offense, so I have to have him in my top 25. Theoretically, he should be a low-end running back 1 because his touchdown upside should be massive. But this dude hasn't had a rushing touchdown this year, so for whatever reason, this dude just can't get in the end zone. It's pretty disappointing, but he is a very good running back in a very good offense. So I am going to have him in my top 25. He's more of a low-end running back 2 flex option at this point, but he's still really good. So start him going forward when he comes back from his injury. My number 22 is going to be Chase Edmonds. Chase Edmonds is a product of the Cardinals offense. Obviously, Kyler Murray's a little bit banged up right now, but I don't think he's going to be out too incredibly long. Chase Edmonds is a dual threat running back, catches lots of passes. James Conner gets a lot of his goal line work, but Edmonds finally found the end zone this past week. It's a very good sign, hopefully a sign of things to come. I think this dude will score a lot more touchdowns in the second half of the season than he did in the first half, so I have him at my number 22. Number 23 is going to be Melvin Gordon. Okay, I'm not that big on any Broncos running back, but I have to have Melvin Gordon ahead of Javonte Williams because he's a professional running back. He's experienced. I don't think that Javonte Williams is just going to outperform Melvin Gordon in the second half of the season like a lot of people think. Melvin Gordon's still a very talented running back, guys. This offense has had problems this year as far as their overall efficiency, so it's made Melvin Gordon and Javonte Williams actually look worse than they are. I think now that all the receivers are healthy on the Broncos, the offense is going to be in a lot better shape. The overall efficiency is going to be better, and the touchdowns are going to go up for Melvin Gordon. So you can start him going forward with confidence. Number 24 is Tony Pollard, guys. Tony Pollard is a super elite running back. I like, seriously, guys. Nobody knows it yet, but this is one of the most talented running backs in football. I mean, this dude is one of the best running backs in football from a yards per carry standpoint. He runs behind a great offensive line in the Dallas Cowboys. He's only had 1 touchdown on the season so far, I believe, but this number is going to go up, guys. This dude's starting to touch the ball more and more as the season goes along, and he's a product of a very good Cowboys offense. So I would say that he gets 3 or 4 touchdowns in the second half of the season. So he's got some touchdown equity for you, and he runs the ball very efficiently. So start him going forward with confidence. Number 25, last on my list, is going to be Michael Carter, guys. Michael Carter has seen a huge uptick in volume in the passing game over the past 3 weeks. I don't know if this is fluky or not because it's the Jets, and we just don't know what they're going to do on a week-to-week basis. They're very unpredictable due to the fact that they're just a really poor team, and they're probably just experimenting with things right now. But the fact of the matter is the running back landscape is very rough right now. There's just not a whole lot of great running backs in fantasy football. And due to his uptick in volume and the fact that he's looked really darn good in the past 3 weeks, this dude is just good enough to crack my top 25, but don't consider him as more than a flex option anytime soon. All right, guys, those are my top 25 rankings for the rest of the season. I hope this video helped. I do appreciate you guys tuning into today's video, and I will catch y'all later.